literally obsessed. Welcome back, everybody. We're Besties Who Are Exies. I'm Ruth.
Back. I'm Sam. I was going to start this one.
You are? Oh, I thought you said for me to start it.
Welcome to Besties Who Are Exies. We are best friends who listen and react to music. My name is Sam. I'm a producer and artist, and I'm here to break down the musical production of songs I've never heard before. And
hmm
Ruth is just really obsessed with music, and she knows a bunch about the fandom and is filling me in on everything I don't know.
For some groups, for this group, for sure.
Yeah, I would say for sure, for sure. How was it that you even started listening to K-pop?
Gather up, besties. It's story time. That sounded really creepy, but it's
Yeah.
actually not creepy. I started working at a sushi restaurant when I was in college, and it was owned by a family of Koreans, and all they did was watch and talk about Korean dramas. And so I got really into Korean dramas with them, and then that naturally led to K-pop. And I love dancing, I love energy, I love running. So that
Y'all,
sounded
she literally learns the choreography for these songs.
some of the choreography.
Every
It's
morning,
really hard.
sitting me, as exes do, clearly, in the queer world. And every morning I was like, what is that sound upstairs? And it was her dancing with her headphones. It was the cutest thing. Maybe someday as a bonus video, you and I can record our own choreography to a song and post it. That's just for Patreon, you guys. We have a Patreon.
Oh yeah.
So gotta
That's
subscribe.
actually such a good idea.
Please subscribe. Every
Suggest a dance that we should learn down in the comments and join our Patreon to see it.
definite. And if you want to follow along with the songs that we're listening to, we've got some playlists up on both Spotify and Apple Music. Please subscribe. It really does help so much. So thanks for joining us today, and we're gonna get into some music.
Like a lot of millennials, the first K-pop group that I did get into and did start listening to was BTS. I had just actually had surgery and
Mm.
I started listening to them because I had been super depressed because I hadn't been able to run or work out or do anything active. They kind of like went with me on this journey of healing, and they're great to run to for all my fellow armies out there. I'm sure you already know that.
She
But
lent me her running playlist,
mhm,
and I was listening to it, and I was like, "Damn, this is like really pumping me up."
yes, if
So,
K-pop will pump you up, that is one thing that K-pop will absolutely do. So today we're going to listen to Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
that sounds appropriate for your surgery.
Yeah, Lapita Momar in Korean. I'm sure I butchered that. Sorry for my Korean listeners out there.
Valid attempt.
That was probably super ugly, but it is the main phrase of the song, and it does mean blood, sweat, or tears in Korean. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Jin. I love Jin.
Is that quoting like a
What's
Hail
that?
Messiah sort of thing? That intro was quoting an actual. I mean, obviously there was sort of operatic, felt like reminiscent of Handel's Messiah,
Yeah.
which of course in a setting that is like super fine art makes sense. I feel like museums are always associated with that classical music vibe. For those of you who don't know, I'm a classically trained violinist, and my focus on production is I specialize in strings and string arrangement. So obviously, I'm drawn to these classical elements when they appear in K-pop, which is actually all the time,
Hmm.
but especially during intros. And I think that maybe there's a tradition of having intros being this sort of sort of almost more acoustic thing that transitions to non-acoustic. But yeah, I think I'm already feeling a theme here of like fine art, obviously, in this space, and maybe a
Hmm.
juxtaposition between art and muse. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing is going to come.
I will say RM, aka Rap Monster, aka Namjoon. He is a massive, massive art fan. And I think we talked about this in the Black Swan video a bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
every time he posts anything, it's always him at an art museum. And actually, next year, he's having a retrospective at the San Francisco Modern Museum of Art.
Oh my God, are you
So, yeah, I really want to go. So I was going to tell you that we
yeah,
should go.
amazing. I live in the Bay Area. Ruth visits me sometimes. This is going to be fantastic.
I
Um,
know.
let's look at that date. But yeah, I think there's art, and then also there's the commentary of what is high art and what is fine art and what belongs in a museum, and how we process looking at things when it's in a museum versus on a street corner. I think we just look at things differently depending on where they're displayed. And
Hmm.
I have a feeling that that's kind of a theme here. It's going to be a theme.
Yeah, so the painting right here that he's looking at is The Fall of the Rebel Angels. I can't remember the artist's name, but
Okay.
that's just like a hint, a clue that that's the name of this painting. And Jin is kind of representative of the main character in this video,
Yeah.
and it's just like riddled with symbolism. So,
Yeah, I mean, that painting evokes a lot of violence.
hmm.
So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Jinny! I loved it so much.
Okay.
Now, I don't know all of the paintings and stuff in this room, but I know they all are were carefully and carefully chosen.
내 피땀 눈물 내 마지막 춤을 다 가져가 내 피땀 눈물 내 차가운 숨을 다 가져가 내 피땀 눈물 땀 눈물도 내 몸, 맘, 영혼도 너의 것인 걸 잘 알고 있어 이건 나를 벌받게 할 줄 Peaches and cream, sweeter than sweet Chocolate cheeks and chocolate wings But 너의 날개는 악마의 걸 너의 그 sweet 앞엔 비려비려 Kiss me 아파도 돼 어서 날 조여줘 더 이상 아플 수도 없게 Baby 취해도 돼 이제 널 들이켜 넌 whiskey 내 피땀 눈물
Are you there?
You're like, why is she saying anything yet? She's been quiet for way too long. I have to make sure she's there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny. I think that one, I really love the colors. I'm feeling really drawn to the visuals. I think that the production is it's really dense actually. There's tons
Hmm.
of synthy swells and filter sweeps. I think those filter sweeps are what really brings in. Do you know what a filter sweep is?
No, what is that?
The sound that I would describe going from low to high, they sort of sometimes it's an EQ, but sometimes it's really just a production technique to sort of sweep the sound before a drop. And
Okay.
so there's so much of that and so many layers throughout this. It's really
Mm.
interesting. There was a scene that flashed with a bunch of colors kind of floating through the air. Is that
Hmm.
am I remembering that right? Paint perhaps, or like
Yeah, it's
it was like
paint.
smoke paint or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the smoke. I can't
Okay. And I
there.
think what's interesting for me about watching video in conjunction to music,
All right.
it's so interesting doing these reactions because I might be saying super different things if I were only listening to the song and not watching the video, but the video
Totally.
for informing how I should be listening to it in some way.
Yes,
And even
100%. Especially this music video in particular, I would say.
so that particular moment of the colored smoke coming through is exactly how I would describe the sound of this song.
Mm,
Because I'm not synesthetic, but there is an element to that representing what is happening in the mix. There's actually a sort of really warm wash and sort
hmm
of splashiness and wetness to the synths behind the whole thing. We have that broken up with these hits that are almost trumpet-like or almost
mm,
horn-like,
hmm
but still with this sort of synthy pop vibe. So it's really groovy,
hmm
almost bordering on some Latin rhythms. But I think that that information of this color is what to listen for in the mix. Is just like that sort of splashiness.
That's
To,
so interesting that
yeah,
you would call those out because that's RM on the screen right now. And he based a lot of this song on Hermann Hesse's Demian. I don't know if you've read it, but it's
I've
a
only read Dartha, so yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's kind of about temptation and sin and growing up and a loss of innocence, essentially.
Interesting.
And so a lot of the symbolism in the music video, including what you called out with the colors, is a representative of different sins that you kind of have to experience to achieve adulthood, right?
Oh, interesting.
And so
Rites of passage.
yeah, yeah, rites of passage where you lose your innocence, but like you kind of have to grow up, right?
Yeah.
And so the different colors are representative of like different sins or temptations that Jin, the protagonist in the music video, is having to experience as they grow up.
Okay, cool. I
It's,
mean, I think it's interesting, even the still of this particular scene. These
yeah.
doorways, I feel like doorways are always representative of embarking on a journey or a task. And so, yeah, I think
And
it's
then it's like you have this female figure on one in through one doorway, and then you have violence and
interesting.
then like temptation maybe on the other side.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in this that doesn't mean something, you know?
Yeah, that's rad.
너의 날개는 악마일 걸 너의 그 sweet 앞엔 비려비려 Kiss me 아파도 돼 어서 날 조여줘 더 이상 아플 수도 없게 Baby 취해도 돼 이제 널 들이켜 못 risky 널 risky 내 피땀 눈물 내 마지막
So that was for the filter.
춤을
What?
There was a filter sweep right before that drop. If you listen to it, like that sort of swooshing,
Yeah.
yeah, that production technique. And it's used in all pop all the time, all over the place, but it's super intense in this one. I
Yeah.
just point that out.
The name of the song is Blood, Sweat, and Tears, so it's like their journey to stardom, you know, and all the hard work that they put in and all of the things that they had to experience to become adults, you know, because they grew up famous. Like the youngest Jungkook was 15 when they debuted. So
I mean, I really need that jacket. I'm so distracted. I'm not even listening to you. Like,
it looks like my mom's curtains from the
exactly. No,
1990s.
that's why I want it. I love your mom, by the way.
Little Hobie. That's Hobie. That's J-Hope from the Spaghetti song that we reacted to. That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. I'm I'm wondering about the symbolism of the arrow. I mean, I think that there's always, especially in conjunction with all of these Greek Roman statues,
Yes.
there's the image of a hunter or the
Mm-hmm.
iconic gods and goddesses with their uh
Yeah.
and so
Diana.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much like Greek symbolism in this for sure. I
Yeah.
know at some point the Laocoon is in it. Yeah, there's just a bunch. And I I minored in classics, but I feel like so
As long time
unprepared. Yeah,
ago.
I am so unprepared about it, but
Yeah.
there is definitely a lot of different Greek symbology in here as well.
Oh my gosh, you guys, when we used to date, Ruth would just summarize all of these Greek epics
Mhm.
and it was awesome because I feel like I enjoyed your summaries more than I would enjoy actually reading.
Reading it, they're so interesting because they're so batshit fucking crazy, like
Yeah,
batshit
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
내 마지막 춤을 다 가져가 내 피땀 눈물 내 차가운 숨을 다 가져가 원내 money 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 원내 money 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 원내 money 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 원내 money 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 아파도 돼 나 묶어줘 내가 도망칠 수 없게 꽉 쥐고 나 흔들어줘 내가 정신 못 차리게 Kiss me on the lip 립술만 내게
There was a moment where he pulls the bow, the arrow, and then there's a
Mm,
splatter of paint, right?
yeah.
So there's this symbolism of we were talking about hunting, but
Hmm.
it's actually chasing the art, right? It
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
for the art, and especially in the context of looking at this painting and that idea of keeping your super focused vision on the thing that you're wanting to do and hunt it down, right?
Hmm.
Nasty for that. I feel like that's definitely a theme. Am wondering about this supper that they set out and
Hmm.
sort of the almost apocalyptic slash are
Hmm.
we in heaven or at the end of the world? Or, is this like a Last Supper reference or is there, yeah, I'm curious about
Or is it
how
like a
is that
Greek gods table?
right. Yeah, exactly. How is that relating
I
to the
feel like part of it is excess. This part right here, like the one of the main hooks in the song is money, 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 which is like more, more, more.
right?
And it's like they always need to be doing more. They're always having to work with their blood, sweat, and tears because people just want more and more and more and more from them. And they're like setting out this banquet for everybody, but it's still not enough necessarily. And
Yeah.
they have all these temptations that they're having to A, incorporate into their own lives as they grow up and become adults in this like insane industry.
Sure.
And then also having to deny themselves so many things that normal people would be allowed to have. You know, they can't even be in relationships openly. The public wants more from them, but it's like they almost get less and less the more famous they get too.
I think it's also how to keep your eye on what is actually art and what is actually expressive and not be sort of drawn into these other things, which is more and more, which is the food on the table, it's
Mm,
such a
yeah, the
different,
temptations, right?
right. Yeah, with that context, it's super helpful. Thus, the paint being colorful, and I feel like we're drawn to that in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
it's like you have to pass these different rites of passage to become an adult.
Yeah.
And I like for them, it's even more challenging because of all the restrictions they have on them.
Yeah, the demands and temptations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you focus?
How do you grow up? How
Or
can you possibly grow up in such a like difficult situation, you know?
interesting. Yeah, let's keep watching. Oh,
원내 money 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 원내 money 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 아파도 돼 나 묶어줘 내가 도망칠 수 없게 꽉 쥐고 나 흔들어줘 내가 정신 못 차리게 Kiss me on the lip 립술만 내게 너란 감옥에 중독되게 이게 아닌 다른 사람 선비지 note 알면서도 삼켜버린 독이듯 피땀 눈물 내 마지막 춤을 다 가져가 내 피땀 눈물 내 차가운 숨을 다 가져가
for a second?
Yeah.
So I think there's also something happening because there's so many scene changes in different rooms.
Hmm.
I think that there's a bit of world building here in metaphor with a museum in the sense that
Mm,
every gallery has a different theme, if that makes sense. And
yeah.
so you're entering different rooms that are differently themed. They even have that scene where you're panning slowly up between two floors. And I
Hmm.
think that's, again, the metaphor of a building, or in this case, I'm going to say specifically a museum being every room a different, maybe trial or a different temptation or a different art
Yeah,
or
I
a
was just
different.
gonna say that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like different temptations. And also, my other thought would be like different stages of life.
Hmm. I don't know. That scene, I mean, that you were just paused on.
Yeah, Jungkook.
Yeah, so with like the sheet, I associate sheets on top of bodies as, especially in a museum context, they're storing the statue, right? And
Mm,
they're covering it. And so there's almost as if the person is a statue in this and they're like coming alive and like taking
mm,
away the sheet, if that makes sense.
hmm.
That
Yeah, like a veil on your eyes or growing up and finding different new aspects of yourself.
or maybe a statue becoming human.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
He too was a tempter. He too was a link to the second. The evil world with which I no longer wanted to have anything to do.
Okay, pause for a second.
I knew you'd have feelings about that.
Oh gosh, we still have some minutes on this. I'm just like, whoa, this change up. This is not in like the radio version. This is
No,
just,
no, it's not.
yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's so interesting that silhouette with the balloon. You have like a Banksy-esque silhouette, right?
Hmm.
I'm thinking Banksy because all of paint
Yes, of
graffiti,
course.
but
Yeah.
also the iconic balloon, right? There's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
a reference right there. And then you enter organ music. And I feel like organ immediately, because of many Western classical indoctrination, symbolizes to me church music immediately.
Hmm.
And the relationship with church and art is really interesting. So that is just kind of what I'm listening for as we enter the next scene.
Yeah, and that quote that Namjoon says there is from the book by Herman Hesse about temptation and I feel like a balloon symbolizes childhood and innocence, similar to a lot of interpretations, or like the girl in the red dress from Schindler's List. You know what I mean? And it's this loss of innocence or moving forward away from childhood.
Interesting. I just couldn't stop thinking about the fact that you should never release a balloon because it's really bad for the environment.
Don't do it, and don't throw rice at weddings.
It's not good. Um, but yeah, obviously a release. I mean, I think there's also sometimes a prayer, a practice of. I'm thinking about my own cultural practice of lanterns and lighting lanterns. And
Yes.
yeah, let's see how where this goes. I think that there's a spiritual element here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He too was a tempter. He too was a link to the second. The evil world with which I no longer wanted to have anything to do.
That's little sugar on the organ.
내 피땀
What'd you think?
Oh yeah, beautiful moment. I think it was a really beautiful scene. I was really excited to see the sheet come back in such a
Hmm.
in the exact way. I was like, yes,
Literally.
the sheet covers the sculpture and the sculpture is going to be revealed. But also it like a step further is that I think that there's almost like a becoming of the sculpture or there's a recognition of self
Hmm.
in that reveal.
Yes, exactly.
And so thus like then he has the wings. I was excited. Let's keep going.
Okay. The end.
Cool.
Did you like?
Yeah, it felt like a really reflective. I think I was really into it visually, and
Hmm.
I thought that the synesthetic nature of what I was watching really worked for me with like such a rich arrangement
Hmm.
of stuff happening in the music. So that was awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. 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 And you can see at the end there, like we're talking about statues. There's statues throughout the entire video, and then at the end, Jin starts to break apart. So like I would say that's his innocence breaking apart. Like the statue is breaking apart for this newer being to be revealed underneath.
Yeah, and newer type of art, maybe. I just feel
Yeah.
like yeah, it's all connected, which is really cool.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, you guys.
Yep.
This was a fun one.
Hmm.
Comment below what you think. And
Yeah, let us know what we got right or wrong, because I'm sure we got some shit wrong.
totally, this was my very first time hearing this. So,
Yeah.
that was fun. And join us for more. Subscribe, please, please, please. We have a Patreon and
Yeah.
check out our playlists.
Yeah, Sam talks about Black Swan on the Patreon if you want to go over there, my fellow armies. And yes, please, please, we would love for you to subscribe.
So we'll
Okay.
see you next time.
Bye. Bye, besties.
Bye. Yeah.
I'm literally obsessed.